Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
We're inside Dodger Stadium. Diamondbacks tonight a chance to grab a win in the series finale with the Dodgers. Diamondbacks can also even the season set with LA at 5 wins apiece before we head back home after this one. Glad you're with us for D-backs baseball from Los Angeles on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Dodger Stadium and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. Two teams already north of 50 wins, battling head-to-head in the division before the All-Star break. Don't see that too often, and the pitching has been a big reason why. We have had a pitching-dominated series so far, Bob, and that will likely continue tonight, a battle of left-handers. It's Rich Hill for the Dodgers, Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, no reason to expect it to stop now. Both these guys have been throwing the ball extremely well this season. For Robbie Ray, he had a stretch earlier this year where he gave up 1 earned run over 5 starts. He's been a little shaky lately with the base on balls. He's walked 17 over his last 4 starts. He has 2 wins, 1 loss, and a no decision over those 4 starts.
We've seen Rich Hill before. We saw him early in April when he had to leave a ball game after 3 innings with blister problems. Those seem to be behind him, and he's made some changes this year.
Yeah, some mechanical changes to his delivery. We'll get into that during the course of the telecast. A 2-1 record with an ERA under 2 in his last 3 starts. He struck out 26 opposing batters in 17 innings over those 3 starts.
All right, let's get this one and get out of here with a W. It's the series finale, Diamondbacks and Dodgers. First pitch is coming up shortly on Fox Sports Arizona.
Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Experience winning like you've never imagined at the Gila River Casinos, Lone Butte, Wild Horse Pass, and Bequiva. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By Santan Ford, we are Santan Ford. By the Donor Network of Arizona, sign up, save lives. Visit DonateLifeAZ.org. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by your Valley Honda dealer, where you get more standard features for less money.
By Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Oregano. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint. Location statewide.
By Gigablast Internet from Cox. Get ready for the gig life. And by State Farm. Here to help life go right.
Back in Los Angeles, the Diamondbacks at 52-33, the third best record in baseball behind only the Astros and Dave Roberts' Dodgers, trying to change that. First pitch is next from LA on Fox Sports Arizona. Hello from Hollywood. It's the D-backs in Dodgerland. 80 degrees, a nice night here. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. The Diamondbacks off to the best start in franchise history. A chance to win tonight's finale and get back within 3.5 games of LA's NL West lead. A.J. Pollock back in there tonight. Here's your D-back starting lineup. It's presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Pollock will lead it off and play center field once again tonight. David Peralta out in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Chris Owens cleaning up at shortstop. Chris Iannetta moves up into the 5 spot and will do the catching. Brandon Drury at second base. Jake Lamb at third base. Ray Fuentes out in left field, and Robbie Ray, the lefty, on the mound.
And on the mound for the Dodgers, another left-hander. Your Ram truck starter is the 37-year-old Rich Hill. Already on the DL twice this year with those recurrent blister problems, but healthy now and pitching very well with a new simplified delivery and a brand new cut fastball.
Yeah, the Dodgers did a little homework and discovered that Rich Hill was much more effective pitching out of the stretch. So like a lot of starting pitchers, he's really abbreviated his windup, shortened everything up. Mechanically a lot tighter out there on the mound with his delivery. And as you mentioned, the cutter he learned from Clayton Kershaw. Not a bad guy to learn from.
Let's take a look at the Dodgers defense. It's presented by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Chris Taylor out in left field once again tonight. Trace Thompson will be in center field. Yasiel Puig over in right. It'll be Justin Turner, the newest National League All-Star, down at third base. Corey Seager at short. Logan Forsythe at second base. Kike Hernandez playing first base tonight. Austin Barnes doing the catching for the lefty Rich Hill.
Phil Cuzzy will have the balls and strikes. He's on the plate tonight. Vic Carapazza, the first base umpire. Mark Rippiger at second. And Tom Hallian is at third. And Bob, before we get underway, we have a chance to check in with you again and get your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, we're going to make an attempt to climb that hill tonight. Rich Hill on the mound. Yeah, you know, the last couple of years we've been trying to lead an assault on Mount 500. That's not an issue at this point of the season, but we would like to climb that hill.
Yeah, Mount 500, we've crested that. The flag is flying. Diamondbacks, the best start ever at 52-33, and coming into tonight holding the third best record in the major leagues behind only Houston and these LA Dodgers. Diamondbacks 4-5 against the Dodgers this year, 2-4 at Dodger Stadium. Robbie Ray and company hoping to change that tonight, get out of here with a win.
A.J. Pollock anxious to get in that batter's box and get this game started. And Torey Lovullo is very anxious to get A.J. up to the plate. He mentioned the other night when A.J. started against the Dodgers, first game back off the disabled list, long at bat to start the game. And Torey said it brought a smile to my face to see A.J. back in that lineup.
Well, you don't want to let these guys get too far out front. Right now, Dodgers holding a 4.5 game edge on the Diamondbacks for the division lead. That's LA's biggest advantage all year. So a chance tonight to trim that back to 3.5 before we're back home tomorrow night at Chase Field against the Reds. Here is A.J. Pollock, and we are set to go underway in Los Angeles with ball one. A.J. 297 and 2 home runs. He doubled in the series opener in his return from the DL following that groin injury. Walked as a pinch hitter in last night's game. 1-1. Hill can really keep you off balance now with that fastball. He's always had the big loopy curveball, and now he's added that cut fastball.
And one of the other mechanical changes, he's working from the extreme third base side of the rubber right there. Half his foot is off the rubber.
A.J. sends this one out to Taylor in left field, one away. Rich Hill earlier this year was taking that slow, deliberate, almost long delivery to begin his pitching motion. Dodgers looked at it, decided, hey, you know, you're much more effective pitching out of the stretch, so they've simplified things. It's kind of a wind-up stretch hybrid he's got going. Here's David Peralta, squares to bunt, pulls back and takes strike one.
It's kind of similar to what Robbie Ray did. We documented that about 6 starts ago for Robbie Ray. He shortened up his windup considerably. Gets the ball, works in a much faster pace. I think the Dodgers are trying to achieve the same thing with Rich Hill. A little quicker to the plate, a little more compact with that windup.
So other than where his feet are on that far third base side of the rubber, what am I looking at that's different?
He used to take a big step back with that right foot, and now it's almost just a weight exchange from his right foot to his left foot and then right into his delivery. He used to take that big side step, which would get his body off the rubber, then he'd come back onto the rubber, and it wasn't always consistent. This is a much more conducive delivery to stay consistent with your release point. Just a very short step right there.
David dunks that one into left center field. A base hit against the left-hander for Peralta. He's going to break for second now as it's bobbled out there, and David is out at second base. Thompson and Taylor were over there. He saw a little bit of an opening and tried to sneak into second.
First baseman number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
David thinks he avoided the tag out there at second. Diamondbacks are taking a look right now. His slide came up short of second base. As you see the play out there in left center, Taylor just dropped the ball. He recovers, gets it back in quickly. The ball certainly beat David to the bag, but was the tag applied? Yes, it was.
So that takes care of the single by Peralta. 7-4 on the putout. 2 outs now. Bases empty for Goldie. National League All-Star for the 5th straight year. 315 and 19 home runs. Leading the majors with those 66 RBIs. See, the Dodgers now have 3 infielders on the left-hand side against Goldie. But Thompson in center shaded a couple of steps over toward right center field. Missed away with a fastball, and it's 1-1.
One thing that is highly entertaining watching Rich Hill pitch is to watch his follow through. kick his leg up in the air. His arms will flap like he's doing the chicken dance. He's has some really unusual finishes to his delivery.
Yeah, I think you'll want to go out there and tell him to sweep the leg. Cobra Kai. It's amazing at the age of 37 how open he's been to making really significant changes.
I saw Rich Hill as a rookie with the Chicago Cubs. At the time, Rich Hill and Sean Marshall, another left-handed pitcher, were both coming up through the Cubs system at the same time. And the big argument in Cubdom was which one of these two lefties is going to be the ace of the staff. Well, as it turned out, Sean Marshall found his way to the bullpen, had a good career as a relief pitcher. And Rich Hill has had sporadic success as a starting pitcher and seems to be a late bloomer, much better now than he was as a youngster.
That was his big trademark curveball right there. It's 2-2. Yeah, very short, abbreviated step backward. This is hit high in the air to left for Taylor, calling off Thompson. That takes care of the Diamondbacks in the top of the first. Robbie Ray coming up from Los Angeles. Dodger Stadium set for the home half of the first inning. Your Ram truck starter for the Diamondbacks headed to the All-Star game. It's the lefty Robbie Ray. Third in the National League in strikeouts, an ERA that's sixth best in the league. The concern lately, as Bob mentioned at the top of the show, the command. He's walked 17 batters in his last 4 starts.
Yeah, 2 of those against the Phillies, 1 against the Milwaukee Brewers, and then 5 against the Colorado Rockies last time out. I'm not sure if that's a sign that perhaps Robbie getting a little tired here as we approach the All-Star break. Whether his mechanics are off a little bit, certainly his command is off just a little bit.
He's thrown exactly 100 innings this year as we start playing tonight with Logan Forsythe takes a fastball. And it's inside 1-0. Forsythe back in a leadoff spot against the left-hander. 242 and 2 home runs. 1 hit in this series. He doubled here Tuesday. You may notice a little change here by the Diamondbacks tonight. That's Chris Iannetta behind the plate. And not Chris Herman. Called strike 3. Fastball is in there. Let's check the lineup for Dave Roberts. Dodgers brought to you by your Valley Shield dealer.
Second baseman Logan Forsythe down on strikes to lead it off. Corey Seager making his way to the plate. He'll be at short. Justin Turner down at third. Chris Taylor out in left field. Austin Barnes doing the catching tonight. Kike Hernandez at first base, Yasiel Puig in right field, Trace Thompson out in center, and lefty Rich Hill on the mound.
Corey Seager, a National League All-Star for the second time. It's a big cut at the first pitch he sees from Robbie Ray. Seager 313 home runs. Diamondbacks have done a good job with him in this series. He's 1 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. Had a double in his last at bat last night. Mentioned no Chris Herman behind the plate tonight. It's Chris Iannetta working with Robbie Ray. That's a change by Torey Lovullo. Trying to get another right-hand bat in there against the lefty Rich Hill. So Herman, both Chris's in fact, as well as Robbie, knew 4 or 5 days ago that this was what Torey was going to do.
And Chris Iannetta, small sample size, only 7 at bats, but has 2 home runs against Rich Hill.
Well, you can't ask for a better start than this from Robbie Ray. 2 up, 2 strikeouts. Let's look at that Diamondbacks defense. It's presented by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Outfield will be comprised of Ray Fuentes in right, A.J. Pollock in center, David Peralta over in right field, Jake Lamb and Chris Owings on the left side of the infield, Brandon Drury, Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. As we mentioned, Chris Iannetta doing the catching tonight for lefty Robbie Ray.
Well, just announced earlier today, the winner of that final National League All-Star spot is Justin Turner. 3 hits in the series. He's doubled and homered. And he certainly got All-Star worthy numbers, 384 and 8 home runs. But the fans have spoken. They wanted Justin Turner, and by fans I mean dozens of Dodger employees voting around the clock 24 hours a day on their computers.
He got over 20 million votes.
They literally set up a room somewhere in the ballpark. It was like a telethon, where there's these big phone banks. Instead of phones, there were computers, and there were Dodger people just on there 24/7 voting online over and over and over again. Robbie ahead, 1-2. Fastball missed. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes, but Turner certainly All-Star worthy. He's hit home runs in 3 of his last 5 games. When you're hitting 384, you should probably be at the All-Star game.
A lot of good third basemen in the National League, though. Kind of runs in cycles. You'll have years where you've got 6 or 8 shortstops that all deserve to go to the All-Star game, but can't take them all. And this year, third base seems to be one of those positions.
And one of those spots, fortunately, as voted on by the players, given to Jake Lamb. Jake will be heading to Miami next week. Well, Turner, who's been a much more patient hitter this year, he's actually walked more this season than he struck out. Has worked the count full 3-2. And he's got a 2-out walk. Turner's only striking out 10% of the time he's up here this year. That's by far his low. He's got an on-base percentage that's over 470, so he really is having a sensational year.
He definitely is. And he can be a different hitter if the count's in his favor or early in the count. He can hit for some power, as the 8 home runs will attest. But if he finds himself in a 2-strike count, he shortens up, tries to make contact, put the ball in play, avoid those strikeouts.
Well, here's a guy that's becoming a Diamondbacks nemesis. It's the left fielder Chris Taylor, who's in the cleanup spot tonight. First pitch swinging, trying to dunk that one into right center, and it drops in. Turner will stop at third. Boy, this guy Taylor has become a real problem. He's now 13 for his last 26 against the Diamondbacks. That's a 500 batting average.
He's a very aggressive hacker. He likes to swing early in the count. He gets a fastball in the inside part of the plate. Actually gets jammed. That ball hit down near the pine tar on his bat, but loops it over Brandon Drury's head for a 2-out single, chasing Justin Turner around to third.
And a chance here for the ASU Sun Devil Austin Barnes. 290 and 4 homers. Turner is at third, Taylor at first, and 2 outs. Bob, considering the way this series has gone, it's in Robbie's best interest to put a 0 on the board here in the first.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks 3 runs on 6 hits Tuesday, no runs, 4 hits last night. Not much room for error against some of these Dodgers starters. Barnes had a 2-homer game last Friday at Petco Park in San Diego. He had a grand slam in the first inning, then a 3-run home run in the 6th. And Elias said that made him the first Dodgers catcher ever with a grand slam and a 3-run homer in the same game.
Well, all the more reason for Robbie to put a 0 on the board. The offense has disappeared in this series. They've played a total of 19 innings and they've scored in 1 of them. That was the Daniel Descalso 3-run homer against Kenley Jansen in the first game of this series. Otherwise, Dodger pitchers have been putting 0s on the board with regularity.
Robbie behind 2 balls and no strikes. Missed with a fastball, and it's 3-0. Even more reason why you want to get Barnes here. Kike Hernandez is on deck, and he's 7 for 18 career against Robbie Ray. Those numbers got him to start at first base tonight. Here's the 3-0. Robbie so far 9 balls, 9 strikes. Fastball is up. And it's 3-1, says Phil Cussy behind the plate. Austin Barnes needs a moment. Robbie beaten by the Rockies in his previous start last Friday at Chase Field. He walked 5 in that ball game. 4th consecutive start in which he walked at least 4 batters. Behind here, 3 balls and 1 strike. And it's out of play, and it's full 3-2. Robbie felt like in that start last week he was around the zone, just kind of missing barely with most of his pitches. It wasn't like he got wild. He did fall behind in some counts, but he felt like he was right around the strike zone with most of his stuff in that game. 2 outs, 3-2 on the way. There goes Taylor from first, and it's ball 4. The bases are loaded for Hernandez. He's already walked 2 in the ball game. And here comes a guy that's been a problem for Robbie Ray in Kike Hernandez, who's already got 8 home runs this year, a career high. He is hitless in the series. He's walked twice.
And he's another guy a little like Chris Taylor. He will look for a fastball early in the count from the middle of the plate in and try to turn and burn.
He's homered twice off Robbie Ray this year. Bases full of Dodgers with 2 outs. Turner is at third, Taylor is at second, Barnes at first. Kike Hernandez with some ownage here. 3 homers, a triple, a double. He's knocked in 5. Those numbers got him just his 2nd start this year at first base tonight. He's only played 12 innings over there all year, but they wanted his bat in there against Robbie Ray.
Missing with fastballs, Bob. That was the problem in his last start. It wasn't like he was throwing it all over the place, wild pitches. It was the fastball that wasn't getting called for strikes.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, just missing off the corners, above the top of the zone, down below the bottom of the zone, enough that he wasn't getting those calls. Found himself in a lot of hitters counts and a lot of base on balls.
And he's behind here, 2-0. Comes to shortstop. Chris Owings, Brandon Drury. They get the force on Barnes, and Robbie Ray walks the high wire, but he keeps it scoreless here in LA.
This was earlier this season. His stance was much wider as he started his windup. His upper body was facing home plate and had to turn and lift that leg in the windup. He's shortened everything up now. That right foot is next to his left foot, just kind of a little bit of a weight transfer and right into his delivery. He already has his upper body turned in a good position, and it's made a big difference for Rich Hill.
Yeah, with his previous pitching motion, he was all over the place, had 23 walks in his first 35 innings. But this new delivery really seems to have solved his command problems. He's throwing a lot of strikes with it. Chris Owings in the cleanup spot, leads off the second.
You'll notice even as Rich Hill stands on the mound and gets his sign from Austin Barnes, his body, his upper body, is actually facing the first base dugout. It's almost like a stretch position, and from there he just takes that little short jab step with the right foot and right into his delivery. That's really helped him be more consistent with his release point on all of his pitches.
2 quick strikes to CO, a shortstop tonight. 293 and 12 home runs. Chris has 1 hit in this series. That was the infield single that broke up Clayton Kershaw's no-hit bid on Tuesday nights. Dave Roberts was saying that when the Dodgers analytics people showed Rich Hill the numbers, pitching from the stretch versus pitching for the windup, the difference was stark. It was fairly dramatic. So Rich Hill quickly bought in. He looked at it and said, well, yeah, that makes sense. It makes total sense. So he was on board. And that's got to be a big part of it, too, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. Especially for a guy that's had a measure of success over the course of his career. They hesitate to make drastic changes to their delivery, something they're comfortable with, something they've done for years and years. But if it's going to make you better, you got to make the change.
It's his first strikeout to open up the second.
Pitcher number 8, Chris Iannetta.
That the cutter?
Yeah, that looked like the new cutter that he's throwing this year. Got it inside just enough. CO tips it right into the mid of Austin Barnes.
That's become the other new card in his deck, that cut fastball.
He can sneak that cutter back into the strike zone, starting it away from the right-hand hitter, or like we just saw there, come in with a cutter right on the hands. Here's Iannetta. Chris singled and walked twice against Kershaw Tuesday night, 236 and 8 homers. A chance for Torey Lovullo to get an extra right-hand bat in there tonight against Rich Hill, so it's Iannetta behind the plate and not Chris Herman. Boy, Rich Hill just throwing strikes, quickly getting out ahead in counts. 0-1, 0-2. Thrown 21 pitches so far, 4 balls. Iannetta sends one out to left center. Trace Thompson glides over there. 2 down.
It's a good way to describe it. He just moves effortlessly. Trace Thompson, great athlete out there in center field tonight. Having a rough go with the stick, but he covers a lot of ground in the outfield.
And if he looks like he's running a basketball floor, there's a reason why. His brother is Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors, who I'm told won a few basketball games in recent years.
I heard that.
But yeah, you're right. That bat has really vanished for him this season. He's been in the minor leagues almost all year. Brandon Drury. It's the bat they need to get going. 285 and 8 homers. A couple of singles in this series, but he struck out 5 times in 8 at bats so far. He was really barking last night at Tom Hellion, who had the plate after some strike calls. And it sure seemed like, boy, Alex Wood was so good at keeping the ball down. He was down all night long. He started to kind of get some low strikes called for him because he was there so consistently, and some of those were below the zone, it looked like, against Brandon Drury, and he was a little upset about that.
Well, this
strike 2-1.
You know, Torey says you have to let it go. You know, tomorrow's another day, a new ball game, and you got another umpire to get mad at tonight. So let that one go.
Tonight's big winner is Phil Cuzzi behind the plate. There's Torey, the UCLA Bruin, back in town. There's the big slow curveball, and it's 2-2. Jake Lamb on deck. It's a fair ball to third for Turner. Long throw, and he airmailed it. And Drury collided with Kike Hernandez over there. It didn't leave the field of play. It bounced back off that wall. So that's E5 on the new All-Star.
Number 22, Jake Lamb.
It backs up. In good position to make the play right there. Just airmailed that throw over everybody.
And here comes Brandon colliding with Hernandez. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, the first base umpire, Vic Carapazza, was right there, and he signaled safe, which means he didn't think Brandon Drury had any chance to make it to second base, and the Kike Hernandez did not obstruct him.
So there's the shift on for Jake Lamb with Drury at first and 2 outs. And Hill starts it off with a strike. And Cutter's in there, 0-1. Jake Lamb, an All-Star, 281, 18 home runs. 65 RBI, second most in the National League. He has doubled and walked in the series. He's also struck out 3 times, and he's down 0-2. As we mentioned last night, just making contact has been the issue. 33 strikeouts in 69 at bats against left-hand pitchers this year. Bounces this one to Hernandez at first. He's well off the bag, and Lamb is out of there. Tried the head-first dive. Vic Carapazza says out. Torey Lovullo says hold on. They want to check this one. Just the second start all year for Kike Hernandez at first, and he was halfway to second to field this one. Had to hustle back to the bag.
Oh, man.
That is really close.
That is really close. That might be something that the Diamondbacks could exploit in this game. Rich Hill really falls off the mound hard to the third base side.
No challenge. We'll head to the bottom of the second. No score. Fans, MLB.TV Premium. Every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At That Premium, which is the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply, so visit MLB.TV for details. LCL Puig, first pitch swinging, grounds it to Owings at shortstop. One pitch, one out in the second for Robbie Ray.
Good start to the inning here after that slog of a first inning. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, a base hit. Robbie managed to avoid any damage on the scoreboard. Nice to get that 1 pitch, 1 out to start the second here.
Yeah, especially after a 24-pitch first. 12 balls, 12 strikes for Robbie. Here is Trace Thompson, the center fielder. Only 120 on the year, just 3 for 25. He's played at only 9 games. Flat out as a pinch hitter last Tuesday night. Just recalled from AAA Oklahoma City this week. He's played nearly the whole season down there. This was a guy they got last year from the White Sox who they really thought would contribute, help them get a little less left-handed. But then he had major back problems last season, missed the whole second half of last year, and just hasn't been able to pick it up this season. 2 fractured vertebrae in his lower back last year. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Robbie Ray, 3rd in the league in strikeouts, 6th in the league in ERA with that 3.05 mark. And he strikes out Thompson, his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 2 down.
Number 44, Rich.
Here's the pitcher, Rich Hill. Rich Hill out of Milton, Massachusetts. He pitched at the University of Michigan, which is a television producer powerhouse.
Yes, it is.
Produce a lot of TV producers in Ann Arbor.
Rich Hill following the lead of Raimel Tapia, the Rockies, hitting out of an exaggerated crouch from that left side.
Well, he's a career 112 hitter, so he'll try anything. 1-2. He got a piece.
Yeah, he's trying to battle. Choked up on the bat. Just a little choppy swing that time. Thought it was too close to take. Fouled it off to stay alive, at least for one more pitch.
Yeah, that is a very Tapia-like crowd showing. He's going to have to charge it. Hill's trying to get up the line. And they get him a nice 1-2-3 second for Robbie Ray. No score from Dodger Stadium. The Diamondbacks. Fans, before the first swing, make your picks for the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge. And with a little luck, you and three friends may be going to the 2017 World Series thanks to T-Mobile. Go ahead and make your picks at MLB.com/bracket challenge. No score here. D-backs and the Dodgers. Rich Hill finishing up his warm-up tosses out there. LA has baseball's best home record. They're 35-11 at Dodger Stadium this year. Diamondbacks trying to get one, the finale of this three-game series. Ray Fuentes in left field tonight, batting 8th for Torey Lovullo. Ray 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts in Tuesday's ball game.
Yeah, I mentioned when Jake Lamb grounded out to Kike Hernandez at first to end that second inning. Rich Hill really has an exaggerated fall off to the third base side of the field. Very slow getting over to cover first. A bunt might be in order.
Justin Turner thinking that. He comes charging in from third. 1-1 on Fuentes, who's hitting .250 with one homer. Broken bat jam shot right to Turner, who was in on the grass. One down. That'll bring up Robbie Ray.
Pitcher Robbie Ray.
Tried the cut fastball and missed. 1-1. That cutter from Rich Hill will break away from the left-hand hitter in toward the right-hand batter. Rich Hill acquired by the Dodgers from Oakland last August, and this winter he got a 3-year, $48 million free agent contract to come back here and pitch for Dave Roberts, which, considering he was and now is 37 years old and injury prone, seemed like kind of a gamble, but when he's been healthy, he's been very good.
Rich Hill and a number of other pitchers at the major league level are saying it's the baseball that's causing all the blister issues.
Got his second strikeout.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Well, people have suspected something is different about the baseballs this year. They've certainly been flying out of ballparks all over the majors, but is it the surface, the grip, the material?
From what I read, they think the seams are a little small. They don't stick up off the baseball as far, which causes the ball to fly through the air a lot farther, a lot faster.
A.J. Pollock sends one out to left field, and Taylor makes a nice running grab to end the third. Bottom third coming up, still no score in L.A. No score, bottom third. Hey, D-backs fans, don't forget to stop by your local Fry's and stock up on some Aquafina water using your VIP card. You could win a chance to participate in the Jake Lamb Fantasy Camp or win game-worn gear and autographed items. See the store display for official rules and details. Logan Forsythe leads off the LA third against Robbie Ray. Robbie, after a 24-pitch first, bounced back nicely in 11-pitch second inning. So far he has walked 2 and struck out 3, including Forsythe, who was caught looking to lead it off for the Dodgers. Talking with Torey Lovullo today, he feels like Robbie earlier this year would throw his breaking ball a lot for strikes, where that curveball became a bigger and bigger pitch for him. But lately that pitch has just been breaking down all the time. This is a roller that rolls into left center, a leadoff single. So they're thinking that if Robbie maybe throws that pitch for strikes a little more often, hitters might start to bite at it, because right now they see it, it's a big breaker, they know he's going to try and bury it, and they just lay off.
And he's falling behind in counts. That makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference between control and command. Control means you can throw the ball in the strike zone consistently. Command means you can throw it in the dirt when you want to. You can throw it to the back door when you want to. You can break it to the back foot of a right-handed hitter when you want to. And we've seen Robbie have command of those breaking pitches at times this year, but other times they end up all bouncing up there. We talk about it all the time as an offense. If you can eliminate a pitch that the opposing pitcher has, obviously that's going to improve your chances of getting something you can really drive. Just lay off a pitch if the guy hasn't proven he can throw it for strikes.
Yeah, that seems to be happening with his curveball. Yes, he wins, says Tom Hallion, and Corey Seager is down 0-2. He struck out his first time up. So they'd like to see Robbie tonight throw that breaking ball on the plate more often, not always buried down in the dirt. Seager's already struck out 5 times in the series. Here's the 0-2. Forsythe has bad knees. He doesn't run a whole lot. Fastball right by Seager. He's now 0-2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 down.
Number 10, Justin.
Hesitate to say anything until we get out of town, but Corey Seager looks tired. That bat is slow. That ball was by him before he could swing at it.
Well, he actually, just about a week or so ago, missed 5 games with a mild right hamstring strain, so he might not be quite right up there.
It doesn't take more than a day or 2 out of the lineup, not getting regular at bats against major league pitching, to lose your rhythm and lose your timing, and that rust starts to develop quickly.
Well, not much rust on Justin Turner these days. He walked his first time up tonight. The winner of that final National League All-Star spot, according to the voting by the fans and Dodger employees. Turner's another guy that had hamstring problems. He had a right hamstring strain, middle of May, missed almost a month. And because of that time off, he's only a handful, just a few plate appearances shy of qualifying for the batting title. And once he does, any day now, he'll be way ahead of the field by about 40 points. 384 at the start of play tonight. In with a fastball, but he missed. It's 1-2. That fastball sort of up and in there. This might suggest a curveball is coming. Are you a believer in that? Raise the eye level with a fastball, then throw a curveball down?
Well, especially with a right-handed pitcher on a right-handed hitter. With the left-handed pitcher, that breaking ball's coming into the bat. It's not as likely. It would be more likely if Robbie would throw a fastball up and away from Turner and then come with the curveball falling out of that same arm slot, out of that same delivery.
Here it comes on 1-2. Got him with a fastball, tied him up. 5 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. Bill Cuzzy and Justin Turner exchanging opinions about that.
It appeared to be right at the top of the zone. Yeah, 93 miles an hour. There's just above the belt.
High strike call from the plate up. Here's Taylor, who singled back in the first. Forsythe, the runner at first, and 2 outs. Forsythe is a guy that has consistent
knee injections, trying to get some lubrication into those knees. He's got bad cartilage in there. So he's not exactly speedy on the bases. That was a zoom ball that Iannetta just barely caught. 1-0. Taylor with that first inning single has now hit safely in 6 straight games. 8 of his last 9. Big cut that time. Forsythe takes off and he is out of there. Ball into dirt. They throw him out. We'll head to the 4th. D-backs and Dodgers no score.
He worked his butt off to get back here, and he asked his body to do an awful lot. And in combination with the 4 days off the All-Star break, we just thought it was the wisest thing. So we don't want it to linger, continue, progress into another level. But we always care for our athletes.
Todd Walsh back here at Dodger Stadium, guys, as we begin this inning. That was the late-breaking story today. Manager Torey Lovello. That was a hit by pitch. Steve, take it.
Well, Peralta got one up and in from Rich Hill. Phil Cuzzy getting out there to calm everybody down. Let's see exactly where that hit him. Looks like the shoulder.
Number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
It's nice when they don't open up
toward
toward the ball.
Turn away from the ball. Turtle your head down into your shoulders and turn away from the ball. It'll minimize the damage.
First pitch of the inning from Rich Hill, who was set down 4 in a row. So that was about Ruby De La Rosa, I'm guessing?
Yeah, the late-breaking story today. Ruby came into the clubhouse, as I'm sure you guys heard as well, as Paul Goldschmidt comes up to the plate with some tenderness in the shoulder, so right shoulder inflammation, using that all-star break to help bring Ruby along. So Jake Barrett is back. He'll join the team tomorrow, trending in the right direction, so they say, down in Reno.
Yeah, he's made a few adjustments, some tweaks mechanically, and it's really worked out well for Jake Barrett.
Indeed, and it was interesting to hear Torey talk about maybe what happened last year. Obviously, one of the bright spots coming out of the bullpen in what was a long season, but said, hey, you know what, maybe they overworked him. Maybe that was part of the problem.
Well, there were long stretches where Jake Barrett, Bob, was the Diamondbacks' best relief pitcher.
Yeah, no question about it.
Can't help but get excited, though, when you see Ruby De La Rosa on the mound like we saw in Game 1 of this series and a couple of other times already since he has returned. When you look at the guys that you're looking for in those late innings as we move towards August and September. So it'll be interesting to watch how quickly they bring him back.
1-1 to Goldie. Well, you know, you forget because Ruby had those 2 stem cell injections in that elbow. It's been a long road for him. He's been working really since December or so. So it could be simply that he's just fatigued. So the idea may be, okay, let's shut him down now and really then think about, as you said, Todd, August and September are the magic words right there. Let's ramp him up again. Around about the beginning of August, he'll be ready to go there, hoping. What a play by Turner at third. The all-star third baseman Justin Turner, who won that final National League spot today.
The thing about Turner, he gets rid of the ball so quickly, doesn't even bother to get to his feet, throws from his knees onto Forsythe at second base, and Goldie, as usual, busting it down that first baseline, avoids the double play.
So now it's Goldie at first, 1 out as they erase Peralta, and the hitter is Chris Owings.
You know, and for Ruby, let's be honest, you know, all the rehab work that he did, all the outings he had at the minor league level in a very controlled situation, that's a little bit different than facing Nolan Arenado or Justin Turner in a big league game in front of 50,000 people. So I'm sure he was putting a little more on the pitches up here at the major league level than he was in his rehab outings, and maybe put a little extra stress on that shoulder.
But boy, the stuff has looked great.
Oh, filthy.
98, 99, everything's moving just over the head of Tony Perez-Chica at third. And it'll be good to have Jake Barrett back here with us.
I mean, if he's the Jake Barrett that we saw last year for most of the year, suddenly the back end of that bullpen gets even deeper.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Owings struck out his first time up tonight. Chris has never really hit much in this ballpark. 33 career games at Dodger Stadium. He's a 170 hitter here. He's never homered in Atlanta. He's got a piece of that one to stay alive. So Rich Hill working here after coming off an 8-pitch third. Starting to cool off just a bit here at Dodger Stadium. Not much wind out there. Got him for his third strikeout.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run tonight means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Chris Iannetta, who flying out to left center his first time up tonight. Chris has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games. He's got 5 doubles over that span. Trying to get the offense going in this series. Another right-hand bat in there against Rich Hill. What's funny, Rich Hill even throws to first with that crazy leg kick. Just like he delivers to home plate. That leg comes way out, spinning in front.
That's kind of his version of what Andrew Chafin does when Andrew tries to step over the fence with that right leg, or left leg rather, as he comes off the rubber. There's Andrew Chafin down in the penalty box.
He's not exactly an LA type of guy, Andrew Chafin. There are some cities where he just, nope, don't leave the room, don't leave the hotel. Hotel, ballpark, that's it. Well, Rich Hill so far, 50 pitches, 39 strikes. As we told you, that new delivery has really helped his command. In or around the strike zone all the time now. 1-2 on Chris. Curveball slipped, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rich Hill has really only had a couple of clunkers this year. That's why the ERA is at 4, but he's really pitched a whole lot better than that. He's held the opposition to 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 of his 11 starts.
Yeah, you're right. He's had a couple of clunkers against the St. Louis Cardinals earlier this year. Gave up 5 runs in 4 innings, and then against the Cleveland Indians 7 earned runs in 4 innings. But other than that, he's been pretty solid for the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's 1 run given up, 2, 1, 0, 2. Never that bunch. Pitched really well his last time out. That was Saturday against the Padres in San Diego. Hill had 7 scoreless innings and a season high 11 strikeouts. And he's got Iannetta there. Back-to-back strikeouts close out the 4th. D-backs and Dodgers all scoreless. Are scoreless. We're back home after this one. The Cincinnati Reds in town over the weekend. Don't miss the annual D-backs alumni game coming up on Saturday. This year's alumni game starts at 4:30, and that's before the D-backs and Reds game at 7:10. The first 20,000 fans get the collectible cup set. That's courtesy of Sanderson Ford. You can see a full list of alumni set to appear, and get your tickets at dbacks.com/alumni. Chris Taylor will lead off the LA 4th against Robbie Ray. Going to be a big weekend at Chase Field. Got the alumni game on Saturday. Tomorrow night, winter is here.
Ooh.
Game of Thrones night. Taiwan Walker bobbleheads. That's going to be a biggie. Limited Game of Thrones special event ticket packages to get the Taiwan Walker Night King bobblehead and a baseline reserve ticket, so you'll get a really good seat. The bobblehead just for $50. That's for tomorrow night. D-backs will have an official Iron Throne at the ballpark as well. And throughout the game, you'll see a whole bunch of different integrations, promotions around the Game of Thrones. Team Shop will have some cool Game of Thrones merchandise, caps, t-shirts, house banners, House Stark, House Baratheon. Take your pick. Along the right field line, Peralta won't get there. It's a fair ball, and it's up in the seats. Boy, Chris Taylor, what a pain in the neck he's become. A single and a double.
Long run that time for David Peralta out there in right field. That ball slicing the entire time down that right field line. David knows he's getting close to that sidewall, just kind of shied away from the ball. Might have had enough room to take another step or two or go into a slide and make a play, but Bounces from fair territory up into the stands for a book rule double.
So Robbie now with some work to do. Leadoff man in scoring position. Here's the catcher Austin Barnes, who walked his first time up tonight. Barnes has had a productive bat lately. Last 22 games he's hitting .340. About half of those have been starts. Up to .290 on the year.
For those fans that are coming out Saturday, the lineups have been released for the alumni game.
Now, you are the commissioner. Did you get a say at all, or are you just neutral?
Mostly neutral.
I'm sorry, what?
I root for the team that's leading late.
You know, it has to end by a certain time. This may be the only game that has a clock, because we got a game to play against the Reds afterwards.
Absolutely.
So we can't, you know, mess around and have these guys playing 17 innings. Always a big night coming up Saturday at Chase Field, the annual alumni game, with Commissioner Brenly overseeing things. Gates open at 5 tomorrow ahead of Game of Thrones night at the ballpark. And again, you can get that special ticket package for only $50, the baseline reserve ticket and the Taiwan Walker Night King bobblehead. dbacks.com/GOT for Game of Thrones. You have to get the ticket package to get the bobblehead. That's tomorrow night, the alumni game coming up on Saturday. 1-1 to Austin Barnes. Missed with a fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and two. Got the fastball up to 97 and strikes him out. That's 6 strikeouts for Robbie, who's now punched out 3 of the last 4 he's faced.
He
just rushes this one right by Austin Barnes. Looked like even with 2 strikes, he was trying to take a shot to the right side there, but swung right through it.
And that's the weapon that Robbie has always got that a lot of guys don't. He can just bully you when he really needs a strike there. So 1 out, Kike Hernandez. Robbie, it seemed like last year when he really got it rolling after the All-Star break over the second half of the season. Did that a lot. Here it is, hit it. I bet you can't. And most times they don't. Kike Hernandez, he's got some pop for a little guy. 39 hits this season, 27 for extra bases. Already a couple of home runs against Robbie Ray. Robbie at 60 pitches, 38 strikes. There it is again. Challenged fastball, and he gets the strikeout. That's his 7th of the ball game.
Very similar to the strikeout of Austin Barnes. Just a rare back and fire a fastball up in the zone. See if you can hit this one. That time Hernandez swings right through him.
4 strikeouts in his last 5 batters. Taylor still at second, 2 outs for Puig, who grounded out on the first pitch in his first at bat tonight. He's 0 for 6 in the series. Yasiel Puig. Robbie tried to kick save and a beauty. Drury is there behind the bag. And a big ground ball out right there for Robbie Ray, who strands that leadoff double and keeps it scoreless in LA.
It's time for Down on the Farm, presented by
Here at Dodger Stadium, no scores. We head to the top half of the 5th inning. Time to take a look at this day in Major League Baseball history, brought to you by Geico. Former ASU Sun Devil Bob Horner, playing first base for the Atlanta Braves, becomes the 11th Major League player to hit 4 homers in a single game. Now the sad postscript to that is the Braves still lost 11-8 to the Montreal Expos.
Well, that happened to them a lot in those days. We will be in Atlanta for our first series after the All-Star break, starting a week from tomorrow, in fact. After the All-Star break next week, we open up our visit to the brand new Turner Field, whatever they call it now, SunTrust Park or something. So we'll be in Atlanta for a 3-game series to start the second half of the year. Here's Brandon Drury, who leads off the 5th against Rich Hill. Brandon reached on a throwing error by Justin Turner. His first time up tonight. Rich Hill is just throwing strikes. He's been very efficient tonight. Pitches by inning, 14, 16, an 8-pitch third, 15-pitch fourth. He's been ahead on the count all night long. D-backs still through 4 innings with only 1 hit. That was David Peralta's single in the first.
And he was thrown out trying to stretch it into an extra base as the ball was bobbled out in left center field. Chris Taylor recovered in time to throw David out at second base, so even the lone hit in the game was erased.
D-backs with 6 hits Tuesday night, just 4 hits last night, only 1 so far tonight. Drury down 0-2. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Rich Hill. 5 of the ball game. 1 down.
Number 22, Jake Lamb.
Brandon Drury in one of those ruts where he's taking the hittable strikes and swinging at the bad pitches. Took 2 fastballs middle in to start the sequence, both of them for called strikes.
He's just not hitting lefties this year like you think he might. Jake Lamb now. Dodgers have the shift on their strike 1. Jake grounded out to first in his first at bat tonight.
Turner, the third baseman, standing at the second base spot. And boy, once again, Rich Hill, strike one, strike two. Down there chatting with second base ump Mark Ripperger. Jake Lamb gives this one a ride way back, and that one is way out of here. Jake Lamb is 19th, and the Diamondbacks get to Rich Hill. It's 1-0. An absolute no-doubter here at Dodger Stadium.
Number 14, Ray Fuentes.
Just his second career home run in this ballpark. It came on an 0-2 pitch from Rich Hill.
A hanging breaking ball from Rich Hill that time. This is what you're supposed to do with hanging curve balls. That one just rolls right up there inside part of the plate, about belt high. An absolute bomb to right field.
Jake's third home run off the left-hand pitcher this year. Here's another look. And that RBI, 66, ties him with Goldie for the major league lead. 0-2 on Ray Fuentes. A Jumbo Jack, a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with Jack in the Box for the purchase of a large drink. Called strike three. 6 strikeouts for Rich Hill. Rich Hill does not give up a lot of home runs. This is only his 12th start this year. He missed a month with blister problems.
Pitcher, Robbie Ray.
Only his 7th home run given up. Robbie Ray with 2 outs. D-backs 4-5 against the Dodgers this year. 2-4 here at Dodger Stadium. So this would be a big win. Get out of here with a victory in the finale. And even up that season series with these guys. Get back to within 3.5 of the NL West lead.
Dave Roberts bobblehead night here at Dodger Stadium tonight. His daughter sang the national anthem. His son threw out the first pitch.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Celebrating his Manager of the Year award last year. Oh, Rich Hill has now struck out 7 in the ball game. 5 of the last 6 Diamondbacks have struck out. The one exception right here. Jake Lamb, his 19th home run this season, has given the Diamondbacks a 1-0 lead. 5th inning here in LA.
Lamb's home run has given the Diamondbacks a 1-0 lead in Los Angeles. This programming note, fans, coming up on Saturday, 4 o'clock on Fox. It's Eric Hosmer and the suddenly red-hot Royals taking on Yasiel Puig and these Dodgers. That's 4 o'clock on Fox, and then at 7 o'clock on FS1, it's the D-backs and Reds. So Saturday's game is on FS1, not Fox Sports Arizona. Commissioner Brenly has been called to duty to oversee the alumni game at Chase Field Saturday. Trace Thompson leads off the fifth.
I mentioned earlier the lineups have been issued. Team Purple will feature Steve Finley in center field, Augie Ojeda at short, Luis Gonzalez in left field, Shea Hillenbrand at third, Micah Owings playing first base. Ernie Young will be out in right field with Kelly Stinnett catching, Andy Stankiewicz at second base, and lefty Joe Saunders on the mound. That's Team Purple.
Your thoughts? Give us the analysis.
Strong ball club.
Micah Owings at first?
Yeah.
He could hit, we know that. Boy, Robbie Ray has got the strikeout pitch going. That's his 8th of the ball game.
Team Red, we have Willie Bloomquist leading it off, Orlando Hudson at second base, Rubio Durazo at first. Matt Williams will be here cleaning up.
Nice.
Robbie Hammock catching for Team Red, David DeLucci in center, Scott Hairston in left, Jason Conti in right field, and right-hander Elmer descends on the mound.
Fair, balanced, those two lineups?
I think so. I think so.
Because we want this to be on the up and up. Yeah, that's your job as commissioner. Protect the integrity of the alumni game. So we look to you for integrity.
I don't think integrity and alumni game have ever been used in the same sentence before.
Well, that's why you're the commissioner.
And as I don't need to explain this, but it's all subject to change. I mean, you wake up in the morning and things aren't quite working the way they're supposed to. The elbow won't bend the right way. The knees are barking, back's barking. So there may be some changes by Saturday, but that's the projected lineups.
Check your local listings.
Yeah. And I remind you once again, gates will open at 3:30. You can come in at 3:30 and both teams will be lined up down the first and third baseline to get autographs from some of your favorites. Maybe complete that World Series ball from 2001 if you missed a couple of the guys, as Robbie Ray just continues to mow them down.
Second baseman
Robbie's got 9
Forsythe.
strikeouts. He has struck out 6 of the last 8 Dodgers he's faced. And here's the leadoff man, Logan Forsythe.
Be many more alumni there other than the starting lineups I just read, because you need somebody to drag the guys off the field when they blow out both hamstrings.
Well, you won't want to miss that, so get there early. Forsythe struck out in single. He's 1 for 2. Yeah, big weekend coming up at Chase Field, fans. dbacks.com/tickets. The alumni game Saturday. Tomorrow night, Game of Thrones night, as we open up a 3-game visit from the Cincinnati Reds. Sparky Anderson always used to say. Fox Sports Arizona has the games on Friday and Sunday. FS1 Saturday night. Robbie Ray has really bullied his way through this Dodger lineup the second time through now. Forsythe turns the lineup over again for the 3rd time. 2-2. Robbie a strike away from getting the side in order. Full count, 3-2. Corey Seager on deck. Seager has struck out twice tonight. Pretty deep center field. A.J. Pollock at the wall. And that ball is gone. Logan Forsythe, his 3rd, and we're tied at 1.
we've talked about Forsythe in the previous 2 games. This is a slider that ends up right in the middle of the plate. He's more of a singles gaps hitter. Slap it around, hit it to the opposite field, but that time gets just enough to sneak it over that fence in center field. Robbie can't believe it.
Corey Seager. The 3-2 pitch by Logan Forsythe is the equalizer here. 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. An 0-1 count on Seager. '97 under the chin, a ball and a strike. Seager only 1 for 10 in the series. He struck out 6 times. Just hasn't looked right in the 3 games so far. And Robbie gets the strikeout, his 10th of the ball game, his 3rd in that inning. But Forsythe's homer has made it a 1-1 ball game. Strikeout game of the year already. He's got 10 in a 1-1 ball game. He'll be headed to South Beach for the All-Star game along with Jake Lamb, Paul Goldschmidt, and Zach Greinke. And fans, don't miss the All-Star game at South Beach Marlins Park in Miami, July 11th, only on Fox. So here's AJ. A home run by Lamb in the top of the 5th. The home run by Forsythe in the home half. So it's 1-1 as we start the 6th. Pollock has twice flied out to left. He's 0 for 2. Bounce to shortstop for Corey Seager. AJ 0 for 3, 1 down. Diamondbacks have only 2 hits tonight against Rich Hill. The Lamb homer, which made it 1-0. That was in the 5th inning. You go back before that, David Peralta. A single in the 1st. And here is David. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Got one in the back shoulder. It's a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Dodgers have the shift on. Turner, the 3rd baseman, in front of second base on Mark Rippiger. Just got a piece of that breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Rich Hill tried to match Robbie Ray strikeout for strikeout. It was punched out 7 so far. At one point last inning, he had struck out 5 of 6. Just missed there, and David is back even, 2-2. Goldie on deck. Toward the left field corner, Taylor has room. 2 outs.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Base is empty for Goldie, who is 0 for 2. Just 2 hits in the series. You know, Goldie's on kind of a quiet stretch here as of late. He's hitting .179 in his last 11 games. Only 2 RBIs over that stretch. He can't always be the guy all the time.
Now, we've seen Goldie go through some stretches the last couple of years where maybe for a week or 10 days, not the guy we expect him to be. He set the bar so high for everybody, but you know, it's just a matter of time until he squares one up, that feeling comes back, and he'll be one of the most dangerous hitters in the league once again.
Rich Hill, as he's been almost all night long, well ahead in the count, 0-2. Lifted in the air, very short right. Puig coming in. And a 1-2 3 inning for Rich Hill, who has set down 5 in a row since the Lamb homer. We're tied at 1 in LA. Dodgers bottom 6. Time for the Rocket Arms, presented by Quicken Loans. And boy, that describes Robbie Ray here tonight. He's got 10 strikeouts, now 138 on the season, 3rd most in the National League. Justin Turner leads off the LA 6th. He has walked and struck out tonight. Robbie Ray has struck out 7 of the last 10 Dodgers he's faced. Fastball up, and it's 2-0. 10 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. It's his 6th double-digit strikeout game this year. His season high is 12. Career high is 13, which came last August in a game against the Padres. Behind on Turner to start the 6th, 3-0. Hold on there, All-Star. Full count, 3-2. What's a couple of times now Phil Cuzzy and Turner have had discussions after strike calls.
I think Justin Turner just asked Phil Cuzzy, "You're not working the All-Star game, are you?"
Ooh. Not with calls like that, he's not. Yikes. Check this swing and a fastball up. 3rd walk issued by Robbie tonight. 2nd time he's walked Turner.
Left fielder Chris Taylor.
The human element, BB. The human element.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great?
It's like poking you with a stick. Taylor 2 for 2.
Sharp stick.
Yeah. You're right. Boy, this guy a single and a double tonight. Now a 290 on the year. He's got 5 hits in this series. That's out of play.
Well, Taylor does have a couple of hits. The first one a single. He got jammed badly, hit a little floater over the head of Brandon Drury at second base, and the double was a slicing ball down the right field line that David Peralta maybe gave up on a little bit too soon. It bounced up into the stands for a book rule double. So it's not like he's scalding the ball tonight, but that's what a nudge does. They find a way to get on even when they're not swinging it well.
He's in the cleanup spot tonight for Dave Roberts. I wouldn't think of Chris Taylor as a cleanup man in a lineup with the best record in the National League, but it's worked out. Robbie ahead 0-2.
Of course, Dodger fans may say, "Oh, you wouldn't expect Chris Owings to be cleaning up in a lineup that
Yeah,
has..."
but what do they know? I mean, come on.
Oh, a beach ball on the field.
No. So Ray Fuentes has to go collect that one in left field. That used to happen at Fenway Park back in the day, and Bob Stanley, who was the relief pitcher for the Red Sox, who they called Bigfoot, would get the beach ball in the bullpen, hold up a giant rake over his head, walk around, make a whole big show of it, and then just crush that beach ball. He who carries the sentence must swing the sword, or something like that. 2-2. Getting ready for Game of Thrones night.
I guess. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't take tomorrow night off. Robbie Ray at 90 pitches. He has walked 3, struck out 10. 2-2 on Chris Taylor. Hitting for another base hit. This is trouble. Peralta at the track, and it's off the wall. Turner had to hold up. They'll stop him at 3rd, and Taylor's in with another double. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Boy, this guy's a pest.
Yeah, the first 2 may have been cheapies, but there was nothing cheap about that one. A line drive over the head of David Peralta in right field. Chris Taylor mashes this ball to the opposite field.
Austin Barnes.
Well, he's hitting about 340 versus lefties this year. Tonight, a single and 2 doubles. So they're at 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out in a tie game of the 6th. And here comes the catcher, Austin Barnes.
And here comes the pitching coach, Mike Butcher. Stall for a little bit of time. I see some bodies moving around out in that Diamondbacks bullpen. Nobody throwing yet. But some guys getting up off their chairs down there. Looks like somebody may be getting up soon.
Randall Delgado starting to loosen up, along with Jorge De La Rosa, looks like on the left there. Yeah. Well, Robbie's had to work hard in this inning. He was at 79 pitches after 5, and so far a walk and a double open up the 6th. has walked and struck out 0 for 1. Infield coming in a bit for the Diamondbacks.
Under normal circumstances, you'd probably play your infield back here, trade a run for an out, but the runs have been so hard to come by in this series. I think Torlavella wants to cut it off at home plate if he has any shot.
That's one of the reasons why he went out and got Zach Godley when he did last night after 5 and 2/3, and Bellinger coming up, Chafin ready in the bullpen. He wanted to make sure he stranded a runner at second base in what was then a 1-0 game, and that's what it turned out to be. Every run has counted a whole lot in this series so far. 0-2. Up in the Diamondback bullpen, but no one throwing as of yet, with Robbie at 93 pitches. Turner is at third, Chris Taylor at second, nobody out. He's off a high fastball, and it's 1-2.
A big out to get right here would give you the option of walking Kike Hernandez to set up a potential double play, with Yasiel Puig leading the majors in grounding into double plays, and he's only seen 2 pitches in his first 2 at bats tonight. But you got to get Barnes first.
Stays alive. Yeah, Puig is hitting a ton of balls on the ground this year. That's become a big problem for him. Also, Hernandez, who's on deck, has tremendous career numbers against Robbie Ray. But the bullpen still quiet for the Diamondbacks. Now Andrew Chafin will start to get busy down there. One ball and 2 strikes on the Dodgers catcher Austin Barnes. Struck him out. That's 11 for Robbie Ray, and a big out number 1 in the 6th.
First baseman Kike Hernandez.
Ooh, that's a slider right in the middle of the plate.
So here you go. First base is open. Kike Hernandez has hit into a fielder's choice and struck out, and they will indeed issue the intentional walk and work to Puig, looking for that ground ball.
Right fielder Yasiel Puig.
Puig tonight, we mentioned the ground balls. He's grounded out twice already. This year, more than half the balls Yasiel Puig hits are on the ground, far more than ever before. And as Bob mentioned, leads baseball in hitting into double plays, and that's the magic bullet that the Diamondbacks are looking for right here.
Bases loaded, 1 out for Puig. Turner at third, Taylor at second, and Hernandez at first. Fastball missed. It's 1-0. Yasiel Puig has some backward platoon splits this year. Batting average drops about 100 points when facing a left-hand pitcher. 15 homers, but only 1 against a lefty. And 1. Puig is 0 for 7 in the series. Robbie Ray right on 100 pitches here. Chafin warming up in the bullpen.
Never thought I'd hear the stadium organ at Dodger Stadium play Jethro Tull for Yasiel Puig.
That seems an odd pairing.
Something missing there.
I thought it might be for you. 1-2 on Puig. Got him! Robbie Ray, 96. That's 12 strikeouts, matching a season high.
Center fielder, Trace Thompson.
Oh, just overpowers Yasiel Puig. It blew it right by.
And now the hitter is Trace Thompson, who was struck out twice against Robbie tonight. Thompson really having a poor season with a bat, only 3 for 27 all year long. Thompson just called up from AAA Oklahoma City for this series. He's been in the minors most of this year. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Fastball missed. It's 1-0. Chafin is ready in the Diamondback bullpen. The pitcher, Rich Hill, is in the on-deck circle. He would be next.
Well, and all the hitters you worry about on the Dodger bench bat from the left side of the plate, they did make a roster move, called up Scott Van Slyke, a right-handed hitting outfield / first baseman. But you've got Bellinger, Peterson, and Utley from the left side, along with the switch hitter Yasmani Grandal.
Robbie behind 2-0. Here's Scott Van Slyke, who's a lot like Trace Thompson, has really slumped this year. He's hitting only 122 for the Dodgers. Take a look at this call from Phil Cuzzi. Oh boy, that's a perfect pitch right there. Two and 1. Thompson's not hit even in the minor leagues, just over 60 games in AAA this year. He hit .211.
Well, that's a mark of a guy that's struggling with his mechanics and with his mentality up there in that batter's box. I mean, that's a 2-0 count in your favor, bases loaded, tie ball game. He took a fastball inner third of the plate, right where you would normally expect a guy to look for a pitch in that situation. He just took it for a called strike and swings at that.
Bad hack there. Robbie's a strike away. One more strikeout, he would match his career high. The pitcher is in the on-deck circle.
1-1 ball game, 2 outs in the 6th. Bases loaded. 2-2 on Trace Thompson. Got him! Robbie Ray, his 13th strikeout, matching his career high, and he leaves them loaded. After the Turner walk and the Taylor double, he got Barnes. They gave Hernandez the free pass, then he punched out Puig and Thompson. 13 strikeouts. It stays 1-1. Start the 7th. It's 1-1 D-backs and Dodgers. We are out of here finally after tonight's game. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. We closed the first half of the year back home at Chase Field with 3 against the Cincinnati Reds. And Zach Greinke is on the mound tomorrow night. Game of Thrones night, the Taijuan Walker bobblehead tomorrow, and then Taiwan starts Saturday night. Patrick Corbin on Sunday. How about Robbie Ray? 13 strikeouts, matching a career high, as he leaves the bases loaded in a 1-1 game.
For the second time in the ball game, he left the bases drunk. In the first inning as well, the Dodgers had him loaded. Yeah, God managed to get out of that jam.
Rich Hill back out there to start the 7th. He set down 5 in a row. And Chris Owings, who has struck out twice so far, leads it off for the Diamondbacks. Don't forget, fans, you still have time to get your special Game of Thrones ticket package for that game tomorrow night. dbacks.com/GOT. That's a really good deal. You'll get a baseline reserve ticket and the Taijuan Walker Night King bobblehead for only $50. So get online. We'll see you at the ballpark tomorrow night. Going to have in-game promotions and integrations, a whole Game of Thrones theme really tomorrow night. So you will want to be there.
Psyched.
By the way, I saw our video, which was tweeted out.
Oh, yeah?
Unfortunately for the two of us. If you follow the D-backs on the Twitter, you can see that. A little Game of Thrones fun. David Peralta was involved in that, and Taijuan Walker, Chris Owings. Produced by Noah Berlin's staff, if there is such a thing. Didn't go, Vic Carapazza. 1-2 on CO. You were great dressed up as the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Spent a lot of time in wardrobe.
Yeah, it took you a long time to come out of your trailer, but we got it done. Rich Hill has 7 strikeouts so far. He's not walked a batter. No one warming up in the LA bullpen. He's only at 85 pitches here to start the 7th inning. Looks at a breaking ball. Third time in 3 at bats. Owings has struck out. That's 8 for Hill.
Chris's timing just
That's
off
it, Chris
against Rich Hill.
Iannetta.
He's way behind fastballs, way out in front of curveballs. He pulled a number of them foul down that third base line, and eventually Rich Hill drops a breaking ball right on that outside corner.
And the irony there is that that's exactly the pitch that CO usually bites on from a left-hander. Iannetta 0 for 2. Breaking ball is in there for strike 1.
Another 0-2 count for Rich Hill. He's been ahead in the count all night long.
That new delivery has really helped his command. Left-hander Luis Avalon has started warming up in the Dodger pen. And he strikes out Iannetta. That's 9 strikeouts for Rich Hill.
Second baseman Brandon Drury.
Brandon Drury punched out his last time up. Andrew Chafin is still warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Looks like he'll get the bottom of the 7th inning. After Robbie emptied the tank to leave the bases loaded in the 6th. 4 walks tonight, 1 intentional, 13 strikeouts to match his career high. Off balance swing at that big curveball. 1-1. Brandon has had the same trouble that Chris Owings has had with that pitch against left-handers. It's just hard to lay off. A lot of swings and misses on those breaking balls down and away from lefties. Goes back there again. That one got out over the plate a bit. Missed it. It's 1-2. Brandon's had problem with lefties this year. He's under 230 versus left-handers. Only 1 home run. Getting a steady diet of those breaking balls.
And much like this Chris Owings at bat, all those breaking balls pulled foul down the third base line. That big loopy curveball is just off speed enough. It's really hard to keep it fair unless he makes a mistake up and out over the plate where you could drive it to the big part of the field. But when that pitch is working down and in hard to a right-hander, about the only place you can hit it is foul.
Seager at short. Well, Rich Hill has now set down 8 straight. We stretch in LA. It's a 1-1 ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Duel tonight, and both guys have delivered, especially Robbie Ray. Our Cox high-speed highlights. Robbie, 6 innings tonight, a run on 5 hits. He walked 4, 1 intentionally, and matched his career high with 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, the highlights were high speed from Robbie tonight, especially in that 6th inning with the bases loaded facing Puig and Thompson. He just reared back and threw the ball by him. Back-to-back strikeouts to get out of that bases loaded jam. Outstanding performance by Robbie Ray.
Left them loaded in the 6th, kept it a 1-1 ball game. Now the baton is passed to the bullpen. Here's Andrew Chafin, who got a big out against Bellinger in the 6th inning in last night's ball game. His 39th appearance of the year. The ash line called to the bullpen. Pitcher spot leads it off for LA, and they do indeed go to a right-hand bat on the bench. I think it's the only one they got back there, right? It's Scott Van Slyke, who was just called up from AAA Oklahoma City before the game tonight. So that's it for Rich Hill as well. Van Slyke 122 with 2 home runs. Only 5 for 41 at the plate this year. Rich Hill was outstanding. Set down the last 8 he faced. 9 strikeouts without a walk. He gave up only 2 hits. The big one, the Jake Lamb homer in the 5th inning. Chafin behind 3 balls and no strikes. Andrew only threw 5 pitches in the ball game last night. 3-1. Van Slyke is a lot like Trace Thompson. Hasn't hit in the big leagues. Really hasn't hit at Oklahoma City either. Batting .233 in AAA this year. But he draws a leadoff walk. And here comes the leadoff man who's knocked in the Dodgers' only run tonight. Logan Forsythe, a homer against Robbie Ray back in the 5th, his 3rd of the year. Forsythe has singled, homered, and struck out tonight. Logan Forsythe, broken toe in his right foot. He was out for more than a month. Really slumped once he came off the DL, but much better lately. 94 on that fastball from Chafin, and it's 0-2. Forsythe 2 hits tonight, hitting over .330 in his last 16 games. Chafin, another fastball that time, and he gets the strikeout, 1 away.
Shortstop, number 5, Corey Seager.
Very defensive swing from Forsythe that time on a 2-strike pitch. That ball was by him before he got the bat to the hitting zone.
95 that time from Chafin. 1 down for Seager, who's really had a rough series. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Robbie Ray tonight. He's punched out 7 times in the series. Just 1 for 11 up there. Started him off with a breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. That's a foul ball down the line at first. Facing left-hand pitching, not an issue for Corey Seager. He's batting over .330 versus lefties this year. That includes 5 home runs, but in this series he has not looked like the Corey Seager we're used to seeing.
I mentioned in one of his previous at-bats in this ball game, the bat just looks a little bit slow right now. Swing is big and long. He's having trouble getting the barrel into the hitting zone when the pitch gets there. Yeah, we said it about Will Myers and the Padres and Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers. He can get as hot as he wants tomorrow. Just let us get out of town.
And Slyke wanders off first base, and they got him! The pitch was in the dirt. He was halfway to second. Iannetta picked it up and threw him out. And Slyke's a big dude at 6'4". He could just fall back on the bag, but he had wandered so far off that Iannetta was able to get him.
Yeah, a little bit of a slip there as he tried to plant his right foot and get back to first base. Very alert by Chris Iannetta. We talk all the time about block and recover. That's exactly what he did, and then finished it off with a pickoff at first base.
Big play in a 1-1 game in the 7th. Now bases empty, 2 outs, and a 2-1 count on Seager. Another slider missed it. It's 3-1. Good fastball from Chafin. Full count, 3-2 with Turner on deck. This is the guy you want to get right here. Seager able to check his swing on that breaking ball, and it's the second walk of the inning issued by Chafin.
Third baseman number 10,
Turner.
Justin Turner.
Archie Bradley has been warming up in the bullpen. Torey Lovello talking with Ron Gardenhire, making sure that Archie's good to go.
Yeah, this will be a double switch. Torrey's heading right to the home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy. That's the indicator I'm going to make a double switch. Cuzzy will go ahead and call for the reliever Archie Bradley to come into the game, and then they'll do the appropriate bookkeeping on the scorecard.
Gregor Blanco making his way out of the dugout. We'll sort it out when we come back. The second night in a row. Archie worked the 8th inning here last night. And with 2 outs in the 7th, he's brought on to face Justin Turner, who just was voted into that final National League All-Star spot earlier today. Archie's 32nd appearance, a 1.19 ERA. Ketel Marte comes into the ball game, so Brandon Drury exits. Still not sure if Marte is going to play shortstop or second. He's out there with Chris Owings.
Yeah, we'll see when Archie Bradley's done taking his warm-up pitches. I think Marte is going to go to short. Chris Owings is going to move over to second base.
So Marte will bat 9th pitcher spot, now 6th in the D-backs order. But they're keeping it a secret as long as they can, and indeed it's Marte at shortstop, And Cios lines over to second, replacing Drury. So here we go with Bradley and Turner. Seager is the runner at first and 2 outs, 1-1 game in the 7th. Turner has struck out. He's walked twice.
Drew a walk against Archie Bradley in the 8th inning last night. Was stranded.
Yeah, they had first base open there after a Seager double. Got a free pass against Archie, who then struck out Bellinger. Fastball's a strike, and it's 0-1. Turner 3 hits in the series. He has doubled and homered. .382 on the year. Archie's ahead 0-2. D-backs in the 8th inning against a new pitcher for the Dodgers. They've already hit for Rich Hill. We'll have Lamb, Fuentes, and Marte due up 7, 8, 9. Looks like Luis Avila, the left-hander, warming up in the LA bullpen. Archie Bradley only needs 3 pitches. He blows away the new All-Star and strands Seager. We go to the 8th inning at Dodger Stadium, tied at 1. Dodgers tied at 1 as we start the 8th inning, and we expected a pitcher's duel. Our State Farm winning combo, Robbie Ray and Rich Hill, BB, they delivered big time.
They really did. A lot of times these pitching duels don't materialize what you expect, but tonight it was right on cue. Both guys pitched extremely well. Each gave up 1 earned run, only 7 hits combined, 22 strikeouts between the two of them.
6th double-digit strikeout game on the year for Robbie Ray. He's matched his career high with 13. On to start the top of the 8th inning, it's the LA lefty Luis Avila, who pitched in the ball game on Tuesday night. He'll work to Jake Lamb, Ray Fuentes, and Ketel Marte due up 7, 8, 9 in the Arizona 8th inning. Jake Lamb has the only Diamondback run so far tonight, a solo homer in the 5th inning, his 19th of the year. And now he's up there against another left-hander. Dodgers have the shift on, and there's ball 1. The home run against Rich Hill on an 0-2 pitch, his 3rd home run against a lefty this year. Our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool play the game.
Number 14, Ray Fuentes.
D-back still with only 2 hits.
I think that Jake Lamb home run ball hit the back wall out there in the right field bullpen. That thing was blasted. You know, we've talked about the home runs being up this year. Not only the number of home runs, but the distance. I've seen balls hit into areas of stadiums that have never seen a home run ball this year.
He would have been a good candidate for the home run derby, Jake Lamb, the way he's hit some this year. Remember that one he hit at Chase Field, 481 feet, I think it was, over the concourse in right center.
You know what Rocky Bridges would say about that?
I love sentences that start that way.
It would have gone a lot farther, but it hit the moon.
2-1. Here's another moon shot. This is back deep to right field, and there it goes. Jake Lamb, his second home run tonight. Both off left-hand pitchers. That's number 20, and it's 2-1 Diamondbacks. Wow. Look at the smile on Torey Lovullo's face. Another Lamb slam, a 2-1 pitch off Luis Avilan.
Well, it looks like a center cut changeup that time. Jake stayed right on it, not fooled at all.
Well, if he wants the souvenir, he can have it. They just threw it back to Puig. This is an absolute no-doubter, halfway up the seats in right. Number 20 for Lamb. He now leads the majors with 67 runs batted in, a jumbo jack. His second one tonight, a free jumbo jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at Jack in the Box. Ray Fuentes now. Boy, Jake Lamb hitting only 130 this year against left-hand pitchers. He had struck out half the time he was up there this season against lefties. But tonight, 2 home runs, one off Rich Hill, one off Luis Avilan. And 2 on Fuentes. Ray's 0 for 2 tonight. Ketel Marte on deck. So now they've got Bradley, who came on and just blew Justin Turner away to end the 7th. In line to work the 8th with a 2-1 lead now. The bullpen is quiet for Torey Lovullo. Bullpen starts to get busy. Brandon Morrow warming up for LA. Diamondbacks with only 3 hits tonight, 2 of them Jake Lamb home runs. Fuentes able to check his swing, and it's 1-2. I see the Rockies lost again at home to the Cincinnati Reds. Reds coming to Chase Field tomorrow night for 3 games. So Colorado's problems continue behind the Diamondbacks in the NL West. 6-3 the final at Coors. Zach Greinke on the mound at Chase Field tomorrow night against Cincinnati. Taijuan Walker bobblehead night. 1-2 on Fuentes. That stays fair at first. Kike Hernandez has it. 1 out in the 8th. Where is Todd Walsh? That's a good question. Todd, where are you?
I have the best seat in the house because I'm standing about 6 feet, 8 feet behind Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo. And guys, I have to tell you, when you're down here at field level for a rocket like that Jake Lamb just hit, you could tell the second it hit the bat, Torey Lovullo jumped out of his seat up to the top step over the railing and just said, "Oh my God."
He's still, Todd, just to your right there, got a massive smile on his face, Torey.
Yes.
I mean, he looks like the kid who just stole the cookie jar.
It was the sound that got to the dugout, Bob. I'm sure you can relate to that over the years being down here. It was the sound. You knew it instantly down here.
Here's Ketel Marte. Checked into the ball game at shortstop in the 7th inning.
And why I'm whispering like I'm covering a golf
Yeah, I was
tournament
like, which way is this putt going to break? I think it's going to go about 6 inches to the left. Why are you whispering?
I don't know.
Oh. It's Dodger Stadium. This is the one place where you don't have to whisper.
These are all valid points.
Todd Walsh reporting from the 16th green. Ketel Marte, say goodbye! Way back! Holy cow, did he get that one? He almost hit it out of Dodger Stadium. Oh my goodness.
Remember what I was saying just a moment ago about balls being hit into areas of the stadium you've never seen before. That ball almost hit the roof of the pavilion out there in left field.
A 1-1 pitch. There it goes. Ketel Marte. Wow.
Oh, that sound. Just clear and crisp.
Look at that thing go. That's 4 or 5 rows from getting out of here. And Luis Avilan is out of here. 3-1 D-backs. Holy cow. .40 feet on the Ketel Marte homer and has made it 3-1 Diamondbacks. New pitcher for LA, Brandon Morrow. We saw him in Tuesday's opener. Came on to start the 9th inning, gave up a couple of hits, and they had to bring in Kenley Jansen.
109 miles per hour exit velocity on the Ketel Marte home run deep into the bleachers in left field.
A.J. Pollock. A.J. knocks that into left field. Pollock's aboard. 1-out single, the 3rd hit in the inning for the Diamondbacks. That'll bring up David Peralta.
Number 6, David Peralta.
Getting a note from our crack staff here. We've got a much better staff, since we left your guys behind. They're telling us that Mike Piazza, when he was a Dodger, hit the 5th longest home run in this ballpark's history, 420 feet. The 4th longest was by Willie Stargell at 470. So Ketel Marte at 440 gets right in there. Number 1 all time is Willie Stargell in 1963. 506.
Yeah, he hit it over the roof in right field out there, just to the right of the scoreboard.
Well, that's as close as I've ever seen somebody hitting one over the roof. Peralta shoots one foul the other way.
You know, it's funny because I was watching Marte take batting practice yesterday from the right side of the plate, which is considered to be his weaker side of the plate, and he was launching ball after ball out there to left field.
Marte is switch hitter. Last year in Seattle, he was about 280 from the left, 220 from the right side. But boy, that was just crushed. Tell you what, if the Diamondback home runs would be counted for feet instead of runs, we'd be killing these guys. 2 long homers by Lamb, 1 moonshot by Marte. 100 miles an hour from Brandon Morrow, and it's 1-1 on David Peralta. AJ at first, 1 out, 2 runs in. Diamondbacks only 5 hits, 3 of them home runs. Peralta gets one up in the air, left center field. Taylor and Thompson and Taylor. And that's the 2nd out in the 8th.
First baseman number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
Here's Goldie. Goldie 0 for 3 tonight. Dodgers in the bottom half of this inning will have Taylor, Barnes, Hernandez due up 4, 5, and 6. No one is throwing in the Diamondback bullpen, so Archie Bradley, who struck out Turner to win the 7th, figures to come back out for the 8th.
You kind of had that feeling in this series that it was going to be the home run ball to beat this Dodgers pitching staff. It was just so tough the first 2 games of this series, and while Rich Hill was in there today, to muster any kind of sustained inning.
Yeah, we've talked all year long about how the Diamondbacks have excelled at linking at bats together. That's a big theme with Torey Lovullo this year. One at bat connects to the next one. You link them together, you have big innings, but against these pitchers, you just can't do it.
Now, the instant offense works pretty good too.
We've had plenty of that here tonight. 2 Lamb homers and a Marte homer. Here's the 0-2 to Goldie. AJ takes off for second. Goldie hits it in the hole and by Seager into left. 2 on and 2 out now for Chris Owings. First hit tonight for Paul Goldschmidt.
Second baseman number 16, Chris Owings.
CO 3 at bats, 3 strikeouts against Rich Hill. Funny, Chris seemed to have a lot better luck against a hard throwing right hander like Morrow than versus a soft tossing lefty like Rich Hill. He likes that fastball in. He can turn on it. Saw a lot of slow curveballs from Rich Hill. AJ at second, Goldie at first. 2 outs and 2 runs in. Front page of MLB.com right now. Lamb not sheepish versus LA lefties. That's a headline right there. Theo's feet moving around all over the place. 0-2. Rockies have already lost. They're now 8 games behind LA. Reds beat them 6-3. Diamondbacks close within 3.5 of the Dodgers division lead if they can hang on tonight. 99 from Morrow.
are really sputtering. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They get the White Sox over the weekend. He gone. And Roberts. Dodgers trying to hang on to this division lead and get in to the All-Star break. Swing and a miss by CO. And that's the end of the inning. But what an inning it was. Jake Lamb started it off against Luis Avila, his second home run tonight. Another long homer off the lefty. And then Ketel Marte, 440, almost out of the ballpark. 3-1 D-backs. From Dodger Stadium. Diamondbacks with 3 solo homers. They've only had 6 hits. A real pitcher's duel for a while. Rich Hill and Robbie Ray. Robbie tied his career high with 13 strikeouts. Hill pitched 7 innings, gave up only 2 hits. He punched out 9. But Lamb has homered twice. Ketel Marte a long home run. And it's given the Diamondbacks a 3-1 lead as we start the bottom of the inning. Archie Bradley back out there. Chris Taylor 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, leads it off. Peralta is under this one. They finally get Taylor out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Archie came on with 2 outs in the 7th, struck out Justin Turner to end that threat. And now he's back out there to start the 8th. Bullpen quiet right now.
26, Chase Utley.
Austin Barnes, the catcher, is the hitter, but Chase Utley comes out. He will hit for Barnes. Get a left-hand bat in there. 220 with 5 homers, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Last night he started at first base.
Well, if Utley's pitch hitting for the catcher, that means we'll probably see Yasmani Grandal, and indeed he stepped out into the on-deck circle. Would pinch hit for Enrique Hernandez and then stay in the game behind the plate for the 9th inning.
Utley swings at the first pitch, hits a lazy fly to left for Ray Fuentes. Quickly 2 outs. And indeed, Yasmani Grandal will hit for Kike Hernandez.
Pitch hitter, number 9,
Guest is coming in and play first. Grandal will have to take over behind the plate. You see his numbers, 272, 11 homers. He's had a good series. 4 hits. He's doubled twice. He's knocked in 3 runs. D-backs in the top of this inning will have Iannetta the pitcher spot and Jake Lamb due up. 5, 6, and 7. Boy, Archie's making short work of these Dodgers in the 8th.
He can't get the ball back quickly enough.
Fastball missed. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left hand side is Grandal's power side. He's a switch hitter. Takes a big cut at that, and Archie Bradley 1, 2, 3. See you later in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. 3-1 Diamondbacks. Dodgers 3-1. D-backs fans, if you're not able to watch the game on TV, don't forget you can stream them live on your mobile device. Just use Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the app and you'll be able to take Fox Sports Arizona and your D-backs with you wherever you go. 9th inning in LA. Josh Fields, the right-hander, is the new pitcher for the Dodgers. A 2.83 ERA, his 29th appearance. Chase Utley does indeed stay in the game and take over at first for Kike Hernandez. And it's Yasmani Grandal behind the plate for Austin Barnes. Boy, how about Archie Bradley? He got Justin Turner on 3 pitches to win the 7th, and then 1, 2, 3 just sliced up the Dodgers in the 8th inning. Archie tonight, 9 pitches, 8 strikes, 4 outs. Good night.
That's what a setup man is supposed to do.
Boy, that is something. So Iannetta will lead off the 9th inning. Pitcher spot is due up next. Looks like Chris Herman in the on-deck circle. He would hit for Bradley. And Fernando Rodney warming up in the bullpen. Chris tonight 0 for 3. Struck out twice. Slow breaking ball from Fields. It's 0-1. Grandal just came into the game, so the throws back to the mound are not quite where they should be. Iannetta laces one fair down the left field line. Another extra base hit for Chris Iannetta. A leadoff double. That's his 11th of the year. That means 16 of his last 18 hits have been for extra bases. 10 doubles and 6 homers.
Waited nicely on that breaking ball. Got out on his front foot, but kept his hands back, kept his head down, and drove that ball out into the left field corner for that leadoff double.
So Herman will hit for Bradley.
Number 10, Chris Herman.
Chris 1 for 17 as a pinch hitter this year. 0 for 5 in the series with 3 strikeouts. 180 on the year. things have gone tonight, you almost wish the Dodgers would bring in a left-hander to face Jake Lamb, who's on deck. He's homered twice against 2 lefties tonight.
Well, there's one problem with that. They don't have any more lefties.
Well, call somebody up. He homered off Hill in the 5th. He homered off Avalon in the 8th.
Last night they had Grant Dayton, another left-handed pitcher, available out of the bullpen, but he was sent down to make room for Scott Van Slyke today.
See. Missed a fastball, and it's 1-2. Ketel Marte hit what may be the 5th longest home run in this ballpark's history. 440 feet. Hit right about there, only 4 or 5 rows from getting out if it weren't for that overhang there. Not sure I've ever heard this place this quiet.
Well, the Death Star is taking a break.
Oh, that thing.
The Death Star is the electrical equivalent of Dinger. When things are going well, they got it cranked up to 11. When they fall behind in the game, they unplug it.
It's the front running speaker system. One and 2 on Chris Herman. Archie Bradley, very impressive. 9 pitches, 8 strikes tonight. 4 outs on 9 pitches. How about that? 2 of them strikeouts. That's hard to do.
For Archie and Robbie Ray as well, 2 guys that seemingly just found the confidence in their stuff this year. They've always had good stuff, but they never really went out there and attacked the equivalent of how good their stuff was. They kind of nibbled around the edges of the zone and throwing breaking balls, and they both learned this year that their best stuff is good enough to get big league hitters out consistently.
Boy, is it ever. There's Taijuan Walker. Taijuan starts Saturday night at Chase Field against the Reds. It's bobblehead night tomorrow night. Game of Thrones night at Chase Field. dbacks.com/GOT. 2-2 on the Herminator with Lamb on deck. Lays off the high fastball. Full count, 3-2. Ursaineta, the runner at second after a leadoff double. Nobody out. 3-2 on Chris Herman with Jake Lamb on deck. .98 from Fields. 1 down. Well, what a night it's been for Jake Lamb. Came up in the 5th inning, scoreless ball game, took Rich Hill way out of here into the back of the Diamondback bullpen. And then to lead off the 8th inning against another lefty, this time Luis Avalon, halfway up the seats in right. So they'll give Lamb the intentional walk here. And work to Ray Fuentes. D-backs now with a 3-1 lead, 2 on and 1 out. Ray tonight 0 for 3. Iannetta, the runner at second, Lamb at first. to Forsythe at second, Seager for one, and that's it. Ianetta's in at third. Hit too slowly for the Dodgers to turn to, certainly with the way that Ray runs up that line. And now here comes Ketel Marte. And boy, did he have a highlight his last time up in the eighth against Luis Avilan. A solo homer that made it 3-1. 440 feet, we're told. High in the bleachers in left field. Looked a little something like this. Boy, that's a long home run.
Center fielder number 11, A.J. Pollock.
First and third, 2 outs. Dodgers in the ninth have the lower third of the order due up. Puig, Thompson in the pitcher spot, 7, 8, 9. Rodney is ready in the bullpen. That's a balk.
That's a balk.
There's no one at third. Fields went to throw to third, but Turner's 10 feet off the bag, and Fields balks in a run. It's 4-1.
That's a brain cramp.
Justin Turner is standing a good 10 feet even with the bag at third. He was nowhere near over there. Look how far away he is from the third base bag, and hello, there's nobody there but the runner.
Figure out for the life of me why Scott Fields is paying so much attention to Chris Iannetta over there at third base.
He's a threat to steal home.
Might steal home, I guess.
Nice insurance run there, makes it 4-1. Fuentes moves into scoring position. 0-1 on Ketel Marte. Fastball's a strike, and it's 0-2. Jam shot pop up. Seager chasing it down. Taylor comes in. But the Diamondbacks get an extra run. Bottom 9 all the way. They lead it 4-1. Fernando Rodney on to work the bottom of the 9th inning. As the Diamondbacks are 3 outs away from a win in the series finale. Our Ash line call to the bullpen. Rodney with 21 saves. He'll work to the lower third of the Dodger order. The scheduled hitters are Puig, Thompson in the pitcher spot. Right now, Puig and Jock Peterson are out there in the on-deck circle.
And Dave Roberts still has Cody Bellinger available off the bench as well.
So it looks like Puig will lead it off, and then Peterson will hit for Trace Thompson with a pitcher spot behind him. Rodney on to get the last 3 outs. Yasiel Puig 0 for 3 tonight. Puig is 0 for 8 in the series. Second on the Dodgers with those 15 home runs. A lot more crouched over than we've seen him in the past. And he rolls that one into right field, a leadoff single, and Peterson will hit for Thompson. Cody Bellinger is indeed out in the on-deck circle. He's ready to hit for the pitcher. First at bat tonight for Peterson, who sat out Tuesday's series opener. He was 0 for 2 last night against Zach Godley. Rounded out twice, once into a double play. 235 and 8 homers. Diamondbacks have out hit the Dodgers 7-6. They lead it 4-1. Two and 0.
I have a feeling Jock Peterson is going to take one of the hardest swings we've seen all night right here.
Here it is.
Yep, not close enough.
Fastball upstairs, and now Rodney's worked himself into quick trouble. The leadoff single by Puig behind on Peterson. 3-0 with Cody Bellinger on deck. Ball 4. So here comes the tying run to the plate with no outs in the home half of the 9th. And it's the all-star Cody Bellinger, who is leading the league with 24 home runs. Leads the Dodgers in RBIs. 2 on and nobody out.
Center, number 35.
The all-star, 258. And he's got some family in town.
Yes, he does. They've had to wait until the 9th inning. That's Clay Bellinger, his father on the right, his mother Jennifer on the left. Sitting right down in the front row, waiting all night for the possibility of one at bat for their little boy.
Clay now a firefighter in Gilbert. He will pitch to Cody Bellinger in the home run derby in Miami next week. Rodney cannot throw a strike. Bellinger 1 hit in the series. He singled in Tuesday's opener. He's walked twice and struck out twice. 2-0. Eight pitches for Rodney, 6 of them outside the strike zone. Fastball's a strike, and it's 2-1. Wasn't this hard at UCLA. Cody Bellinger out of Hamilton High School in Chandler. There's folks in from the Valley. Change up missed, and it's 3-1. Logan Forsythe, who homered in the 5th, is on deck. He's the leadoff man. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. Torey Lovello, the skipper. Bullpen quiet. This is Rodney's ball game. Here comes Butch.
Now, pitching coaches used to be able to organize their thoughts on that long walk out to the mound, but because there's a time limit on these visits now, Butch has to get his thoughts together quickly and then sprint out there and relay the message not only to Fernando Rodney, but the infielder, the catcher. Everybody needs to know what's going on here.
Well, he's got a hot hitter to deal with here in Logan Forsythe. Last 16 games, he's hitting over .330. He has singled and homered tonight, 2 for 4. Bases full of Dodgers and no outs. Well, he's thrown 12 pitches, 9 of them balls. Archie Bradley got 4 outs on 9 pitches, including 2 strikeouts in his 1 1/3. Puig at third. Peterson's at second. Bellinger's at first. (3-0). Oh, Phil Cousins.
It's been a strike
all night.
Occasionally tonight.
They walked and a run. 3 consecutive walks from the Diamondbacks closer, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Bullpen will get busy. TJ McFarland warming up quickly. Corey Seager, the hitter. Seager has not had a good series. He has struck out 3 times and walked tonight. He's punched out 7 times in the series. A single can tie the ball game. 2, says Phil Cuzzy. Tying run is at second, winning runs at first. Nobody out. Phil Cuzzy directing security here. Pointing to deep in the left field seats. Yeah. There's this
clown.
Rocket scientist. Like, that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, turn that off.
Yeah. He's shining it right into his own hitter's eyes. Didn't really think that one through.
No. Well, it's Dodger Stadium. 1-2. Almost to the backstop. Fernando Rodney has thrown 19 pitches and only 5 strikes. 2-2 on Corey Seager. TJ McFarland continues warming up in the bullpen. Kenley Jansen will get up in the LA pen. Up the middle and into center field. Peterson scores. Bellinger is home with a tying run.
Fights off a fastball up and in. Once it gets by Rodney, the only guy that has a chance is Ketel Marte, shaded up the middle of the field. Just misses with a dive as that one trickles through into center to tie it up.
Well, even worse news, the winning run is 90 feet away with nobody out. And the last National League All-Star is the hitter, Justin Turner. Voted into that final spot today. Going to get the free pass. This will load the bases again.
Left fielder, number 3.
Here comes Torey Lovello. He wants TJ McFarland, who will come on to work to Chris Taylor. Not Fernando Rodney's night, to say the least. 3 consecutive walks, a couple of base hits, and a 4-1 lead is gone. Back from LA after this. Four-1 lead. It's now 4-4. Still nobody out. The Dodgers have the bases loaded with the winning run standing at third base. And here is TJ McFarland, hoping against hope to keep this thing 4-4. Fernando Rodney threw 20 pitches tonight, only 6 for strikes. So close your eyes and cross your fingers. Here comes Taylor, who's been a big bat all night long, a single and a pair of doubles.
And with nobody out in the inning here, still a lot of things Dave Roberts could do. A possible sac bunt. No, bases are loaded. I'm sorry.
Now you got Forsythe as the winning run at third, with Seager at second and Turner at first. Taylor's already had 3 grand slams. All you need here is a single or a sac fly. Infield in for the Diamondbacks. They still have 3 in the outfield. McFarland and Taylor. Fly ball, and that's the ball game. Dodgers sweep 3. Taylor, his 4th hit tonight, is the walk-off winner. And this one obviously really hurts. The Diamondbacks drop 5.5 games behind LA in the NL West.
There's so much promise in front of the Diamondbacks coming in here to Dodger Stadium, trailing LA by 2.5 games in the standings. This is absolutely not what they had in mind.
Certainly not what Fernando Rodney had in mind. That veteran closer has been so good all year long, just didn't have it tonight. And LA comes back. They get 4 in the 9th to win it 5-4. Back from Dodger Stadium right after this.